This club's about winning trophies. I'm inexperienced in a lot of those things.
3-0. Can you believe it?
Almost lost the cup and you win it. The new European champions, the treble, the dream come true for you.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to the American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we are bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Ooh, sir, how you doing? How you doing? 3 strikes, you're out. Crash out of another semifinal for United. Sevilla does us dirty. Late stages. Tactically, some mistakes were made today. United weren't clinical enough. Season's over. There you go.
That is all she wrote. United fall to Sevilla. Europa League is their competition, so it was always going to be a tough match. I think we talked about it last podcast. The wings, AWB, Brandon Williams, they needed to be sharp. We need to shut down that stuff, and look, our center backs couldn't handle it either. 2 goals from open play. We were the better side, though. They go through. As a United fan, 3 semifinals, 3 losses. That's a record. Not a record you want to have. I mean, it's better than 3 finals, 3 losses, right?
I don't know, is it? I'm not sure it is. It's not great. I'm not a big criticize Ole guy, but I'm going to criticize Ole today because he got it wrong today. I hate to say it. I mean, I don't know nothing. I know nothing about football, but at the end of the day, the subs that he brought in were the wrong subs, and he made saves far too late. So it's just, that was like, he had it. The game was there. You got to be able to adapt mid-game. Sometimes you've shown that you can't always do it. Sometimes he gets it right. Sometimes he gets it wrong. Today, I think he got it wrong.
I mean, for me, we'll talk about when we get to the lineup, but the Fred starting, that one was strange. De Gea over Romero, I get it. The only one he got wrong in that 11, I think, is Fred came out. Fred looked a little sloppy. I think he just changed the dynamic of the midfield. Maybe Ole was thinking about I really don't know what he was thinking about. I actually
Tell me.
I was going to say the pace of Sevilla, like Fred would be able to track back more energy in the midfield. Matic a little slower, a little older legs. But at the end of the day, it's the wisdom Matic has, positioning for the counter, being able to snuff out danger, stop it. We really could have used that. I have to think United, we would be in extra time and penalties or going through if Matic got the start. That, for me, was the big thing in the game we never got right.
I mean, there's that. The fact that he didn't start, but it's damning that he didn't come on at all. The fact that Fred wasn't subbed. Okay, you're not going to do it half kind. You don't want to hurt the El Pastor's feelings. All right, 60th minute, where's the sub? Nothing. 70th minute, no sub. 80th minute, we never saw Matic.
Well, not even just Fred. I mean, I would say that Fred just didn't. It wasn't his day, but
that was the obvious one.
It wasn't his day against Copenhagen.
Exactly.
So again, I'm not here to talk smack. I'm rooting for Fred. I want him to do a job, but like you said, after you see it, you got to make the change. And it's not only Fred, but 70th minute, we get scored on. Going into the 80s, Ole just sitting on those subs. We got fresh legs. To me, it's almost like he's trying to send a message to the Glazers, to the board, saying, look, I don't got anyone. This is my best team. I'm going to leave him on. He said something in the press conference leading up to it. I know that's 4D chess. I know it's complete speculation, but something was off about Ole today, especially when he didn't want to change it up.
Well, I don't know if it's sending a message to the board. That feels like a Mourinho-type troll kind of thing. I just think
he did in the presser. He called it out. He said that we need more money. We need to invest in this team.
He's going to bottle a cup. He wants to win silverware.
No, not bottle it.
Probably more than anyone.
Not bottle it, but he's being stubborn and saying this is the best 11, and I'm not going to put anyone else on.
But he knows it's
That's
not
his
because he's
opinion.
played Matic in the whole run-up, and it's like, is he injured? Why didn't he play? He played every game in the restart for the most part, and then you put Fred in, doesn't play well in Copenhagen, comes out.
Well, Fred just came off the bench against Copenhagen.
I agree, and he came off probably too late, and he didn't come off at all today.
We're already in the weeds.
He didn't come off today. That's the big one. The big one for me is you kept Fred on.
Look, you said in the last spot, the business this season's already done with top 4. I'm not too bothered if we get knocked out. You seemed really bothered watching the game, so walk me through the roller coaster. Are you just trying to manage your expectations going into a match? Because what you said on the last pod versus what I saw on the couch there when we were down, you were pretty upset. How you feeling?
Well, I think that's what they call it, the heart versus the mind talking. Well, sir, here's the thing. When we are the better team, created the chances, the game is there to be won, I'm going to be pissed off because I'm going to just call it like I see it. There were subs that should have been made earlier. They've been made.
Yeah, but that's harping on something,
That's what I'm talking about. In this game, we're going to be critical in this
Your
one
lips are
game.
moving and you're complaining about something. That's whinging.
This whole pod's going to be whinging.
You're
mate.
whinging.
Yeah, I am.
I thought we came out great, play well, got the goal. After that, it got really disorganized. I thought that's where we missed Matic. Sevilla were dangerous in certain areas, like we said with B-dubs, like we talked about. Ole knew that's where they were going to exploit the space. Coming to halftime, tied, all right. That's when I think we should have made adjustments. We actually came out the second half, didn't. We got great opportunities, couldn't finish. I just don't think that we're just slating this team. It was just one of those, it's not your day. We have them. That was it. We were the better side, just not our day. We've seen the improvement under Ole. We're heading the right direction. We just need the board to invest. So it sucks to lose. I thought we were going to make the final 100%. I have no idea how this happened, but you look at their keeper coming with huge saves. That's just part of that's you play the game, sir.
No, I'm being highly critical. Hey, it's like you said.
Walk off that ledge.
Yeah, no, it's all no big deal. I'm acting like we needed that game to get into top 4, to be honest. So, to be fair, it was a game that I said last spot. It doesn't really matter. Actually, at the end of the day, as a fan, it doesn't matter.
It's okay to be pissed.
It
That's
doesn't
why we
matter.
have the pods.
I get it, but
pods like therapy.
I know it is therapy. I was just frustrated because it was the logical choice. I feel like he, shot himself in the foot. Maybe he was trying to send a message to the board, but it wasn't that he started Fred. It was that he didn't bring him off the 60th minute.
But I will say, okay, I'm gonna calm you down, then I'm gonna rally you back up. The way the Chelsea semifinal went, I think that's why everyone's just a little more upset. Because similar thing, Chelsea were there for the taking. That one, I think we weren't the better team. We just didn't show up. This time we showed up. We just didn't get we didn't have that ruthless finishing in front of goal, unfortunately. And sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, that was more of a 50-50. We had the better chances. We didn't take them. Their goalie. We came out in the second half. We're getting down to it already. But that was when we started just pouring it on. And the thing is, we kind of slowed down, and that's when you needed to change something, right? 65th minute, those chances weren't coming as fast and furious. So you just knew that Sevilla's threatening, right? They get off chance, and they're going to take it, and they did.
Well, to your subs comment, Sevilla made the subs. That was the difference maker. That got them the win, right? And Ole he hasn't pulled the trigger on the subs. Reluctant to change it. I mean, even against FCK, I was like Fred at halftime. Same thing with Sevilla. Again, I'm not going to pretend like I know anything. Like you said, we're just fans on the couch calling it like we see it, sir. That's why I love this pod. Jumping in PSA for the podcast. We have our end of season survey. It's sad, but the 2019-2020 season is finally in the bag, and we are doing our feedback survey from the fans. We would like to hear your feedback. Goes a long way to making this podcast in the bunker improve. It's a hot one here in California, so we're sweating it out. We need that air conditioning. So give us some feedback. You can win a 2020-2021 jersey player size of your choice. Fill it out. You have a good chance. Check out our blog. We dropped a great article on the Sancho transfer, americanreddevils.com. We also have merch. Click on store. #Glazers out. All on sale, sir. We need to protest the Glazers. Green and gold to the club is sold. It's a crime what they're doing to the club. We'll get into the finances later. Drop a review on iTunes. 5 stars goes a long way for us getting found. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube. No ads. For fans, by fans. We would be having this conversation if it wasn't a pod. Now we just record it. You could just hear it.
I mean, we had an hour of podcast content just in the build up to this pod. The wives, they know we need this. Got to get it out. Today,
no, it's funny.
It's gonna be a spicy one.
I was like the fan on the couch who was resigned to the fact we were going to get eliminated. You were the fan on the couch just hoping that in the 80th minute, I'm just sitting there just like,
no, I knew it was over then.
Almost like turn it off.
Still wasn't a sub then. Still was no sub by the 80th minute.
Yeah.
Madness.
Well, look, jumping in the match recap, we've addressed a lot of it, so we'll fly through. Sevilla FC versus Manchester United at Rhine Energy Stadium, Cologne. It's played earlier today, noon Pacific, August 16th, sir. Starting 11, we had De Gea, number 1 in net, over Romero. That's interesting. A lot of people were chirping about that. What would you make of the keeper change?
I didn't like it. I like playing Romero. I like the idea of a cup keeper, so I was a little disappointed. But I get De Gea. He's a worldie on his day, and maybe step up against the Spanish team. It's
not a good look from the coach. Cup keeper's your cup keeper. If you're going that way, I think Romero gets it. I think Jose, there's a few intangibles about being a football coach over the long term, and that's one of them where not to switch it up too much. because he played Romero throughout and we won, right? And credit to Mourinho for getting that one right. Ole switching it up, switching it in the final. It's a Jersey move, not good for, Romero's not going to be happy about it. You're not keeping him happy.
Yeah, I mean, but to be honest, if you compare this Sevilla match versus the other one, we played so much shittier under Mourinho. Like we played.
No, I'm not saying he's a good coach. I'm saying of the principles, that's one that I think.
I agree. Mourinho,
that should be obeyed.
He has won a couple things in his tenure.
B-Dubs on the left, Maguire, Lindelof center back pairing, Wan-Bissaka, Fred, Pogba midfield that we already talked about. Fred, Rashford, Bruno, Portuguese Magnifico, number 10 in the hole. Greenwood on the right, Martial up top. Overall, like we said, I think you got it right. Other than Fred, you can moan about De Gea, but that you're really getting semantics there.
I'm not moaning.
Jumping in the match, it's whinging. It's not moaning. Jumping in the match, United came out hot, exactly what we wanted. We talked about last pod. We had to come out with intent to win. We did, and we only had to wait until the 6th minute, sir. It might have been too soon.
Martial, Rashford again. Almost came back out to Bruno Fernandes.
Penalty.
And a penalty has been awarded.
The only right call all day from this referee, by the way.
He had a mark.
Lovely touch by Martial. Rashford managed to get the shot away. Jesus Navas sliding in, as was Diego Carlos, and in the semi-final. It's Bruno Fernandes. It's a brilliant penalty. Superbly struck by Bruno Fernandes.
Sir Bruno Fernandes, 14 penalties he's taken this season. 6 for Sporting, converted all 14, 100%. Best penalty taker in the game. We needed him. And what's really funny is just watching this chance again, you're like, Rashford still didn't finish it.
I know. A story of the day, right?
Yeah.
He needed a penalty to bail you out. But also, how did he not get a yellow card? Like that heel up from the defender. There are a lot of calls today from our boy Felix. Unfortunately, same name as my kid. The ref just bottled. That was ridiculous. They got away with so much cheekiness. You almost expected it. But here I am complaining after we scored. But how good is he from the spot? Ridiculous, right? He does the hop up, but still gets so much power behind it. Of course, the goalie guesses the right way. He's such a player.
No, Bruno Fernandes. We were talking about what are the positives you could take away from getting eliminated. One is rest. Players get some rest.
Yeah,
and the fact that we could not have Bruno Fernandes at the end of the day. It's amazing we were able to get that deal done in January. The impact on our team. He's a real player. Him chewing out Lindelof. Absolutely love it. You need more people like Bruno Fernandes at Manchester United, and the penalty ice in his veins, sir. Unbelievable from our Portuguese Magnifico. 13th minute, another great chance for United. Great counter led by Bruno. He found Fred. Fred juked somebody and shot it pretty wide. Again, sums up Fred's day. Sorry for all the people that like Fred. I know you do. I'm not going to pull any punches today.
Anymore. This
is when the game really opened up. It looked sloppy. I thought that United needed Matic, somebody, a general in the midfield to calm it down. And this is kind of where things went awry.
Reguilon, Suso, 1-1.
I mean, this is really poor from Manchester United. The two players that you could call out here, Aaron Wan-Bissaka just let his man run by him, and Fred playing CDM didn't run into the dangerous space. I mean, this is something where I think Matic would have snuffed it out. Fred kind of half jogs. He sees the guy. He's got to make that run up, and then also B-Dubs, I think, had a shot at sliding, blocking this ball. You can make two, maybe one of those errors, but you can't make all three. That is an easy goal for Sevilla. We looked dangerous at the back, and they scored. I said right before they scored, I was like, they look like they're going to get a goal.
Really just a comedy of errors. Like, if you look at basically every defender in that play messed up, if you can argue. Fred.
Lazy.
Matic would be there.
Really
that's
lazy.
the difference. He just knows where to be. His spatial awareness defending in that pivot role is so important, right? He's like, Fred's not a bad midfielder. He just can't play that role nearly
Fred
as well as
watched
Matic.
the guy run by him, and so did AWB.
AWB did not have a good game, to be fair.
That was very poor. That is a very preventable play. and to let that man run through, it just shambles.
But even Lindelof, even what's it called, B. Williams, no one did well on that play. All four of them.
It's look, Maguire gets a pass on that one, but we'll get to the next goal. We'll get the next goal in a second. Sir, 46th minute, great save by Bono on Fernandez. 47th minute, another great counter. Rashford had a great opportunity and just loses the ball. That summed up the day for United. Just not like, we had so much dangerous possession, just couldn't finish.
Definitely. The first half, I think once they got this goal, we let them have a lot of the ball. I think we turned it on a little bit at the very end, but we're clinical enough, right? We looked a little sloppy. They were there. There was space there. I think the team was there to be had. It's not vintage United.
Yeah, trying to do too much with the ball, right, around the box, losing the ball in poor places. Halftime, coming back out, United, they looked sharp. We looked good, So I'm going to say Ole didn't make the change. I thought that was probably the right decision based on the 46th minute. Amazing chance for United. Bruno plays the ball into Greenwood, who shoots the ball on target, but Bono's there to make the save once again. 49th, another big shot. But Bono, big save again. Great ball by Bruno to Martial, who shoots it, but Sevilla's keeper's there to save it one-on-one. Frenchman gets the rebound and finds Rashford. He can't convert it either. I mean, this was just ball bouncing in the box. Somebody put it away. And it's just like, sometimes when you watch matches, you watch as many games as I have of Manchester United, you're like, sometimes it's just not your day. And you have these days where no matter what you do, the ball's not going in the net.
No, it's true. And I've been critical of Ole today, but to be honest, he did get the boys up in the second half. They looked very good. Those first 15 minutes, we were turning it on. We were, turning the screws, pouring on Sevilla. They look like they're ready to break, but you have to take that opportunity. You have to score and grab the lead there while it's there. Because after that, we slowed down, right? Nothing doing for like 10, 20 minutes. No subs.
52nd minute, Pogba recovers the ball inside Sevilla's first half and passes the ball to Martial, shoots it. But yeah, wide again. I thought Pogba played well today. I thought that he was actually a bright spot for United. He's been great since returning. 71st minute, a dangerous free kick for Sevilla. And this one went off Bruno Fernandez's arms. VAR did a check. It wasn't handball. I thought this was it. I thought they were going to give the handball for Bruno, free kick. That was how we would lose. But unfortunately, we didn't have to wait too long, sir. 78th minute. Wood decided. Defensive masterclass from Manchester United.
Munier. Luke de Jong, who puts Sevilla in front.
Look, you watch that play over and over. Maguire and Lindelof are stretched. They're both on the near post for some reason. Lindelof has a center forward right over his shoulder. He actually checked back twice. I guess didn't see him, thought AWB covered him. AWB kind of left him. Great ball in, and Lindelof's watching that go into the net. Piss poor, honestly. Brandon Williams didn't get a block on the cross. That's important, like you mentioned earlier. And Lindelof, he's got to be on that center forward. He's got to be back to chest on him in the box. Inexcusable. Bruno calls him out. I love that. Bruno's just like, reminds me of Roy Keane. You got to call out players on the pitch. Someone makes a mistake, you got to chew him out. That's how, this is, you're not making friends here, Like, I know it's all social media. I know everyone's gone soft, but it's like you're trying to win the game and Lindelof switching off. It's not helping United. We're Manchester fucking United. You want to go play somewhere else, go to Benfica, brother.
No, I'm not going to, here's the thing. B-Dubs should have gotten that block in, right? He doesn't even put a leg out, should have gotten it in. And then AWB and Lindelof don't do anything with it, right? Like Lindelof, they should both do better. Both of them do nothing. Just watch the ball go in. It was kind of like the goal, one of the saves that De Gea had last time against Sevilla. That was ridiculous, but it was like a header. Same ball, but it was a header. Yep. It's just a shit goal. It's like we need to upgrade defense. We need to upgrade all over. Are we investing this summer? I doubt it.
We'll get to that a little later, but the thing I didn't like was that Lindelof was having to go back at Bruno about it, and it was like that was clearly Lindelof's error. You don't like to see that. You like to see Lindelof kind of be like, my bad, my bad. That's what you want to see between teammates, but for him to be like going back at Bruno when his center forward's in the box and he's playing center back, I don't know what argument you got to stand on there. 86 minutes subs. Manchester United, Ole finally changing it up. Dan James, who's going to save the day? Dan James, Foster Mensah, Juan Mata on for Rashford Williams and Wan-Bissaka. 92nd minute, Europa FC comes on. Greenwood off. Not enough. Day late, dollar, sir, like you like to say. Ole doesn't pull the trigger on the subs. Sevilla get the win, 2-1. You said it's better to lose in full time than extra time on the couch. I thought it was a funny quote.
Definitely is.
How you feeling?
No, look at that. I mean, the timeline is damning, man. The timeline is damning because look at the big chances. They just stopped after like the 55th minute. You made no subs until the 86th minute. They scored in the 78th. It's kind of insane. Like, I am just an idiot. I'm an idiot. I don't know anything. But I know that's like, it doesn't make any sense to make no subs.
No, we needed a switch.
It's like they made a switch in the 55th minute and it changed the game for them.
But Fred never came off the pitch. Right? To me, that's the ultimate is like,
dude,
like you say, you know nothing, Jon Snow. I don't know nothing about football, really. Like, but I know Fred's bad. I know Fred had a bad day. I know he had a bad day at FCK. I know he had a bad day today. And it's clear, like, there's a mood around the team. If you're Paul Pogba and you got Modric back there, that's one thing. If you're Paul Pogba and you got Fred back there, you got to kind of like think about, okay, like I got to worry about that guy a little bit. Everyone kind of takes a step back. Fred should be playing with McTominay in a 2, with Mata playing CDM. Fred should not be playing CDM. He should be playing central midfielder against lower opposition teams. Europa League group stage, sir. That's kind of where Fred's bread is buttered right now. And I just think there's a knock-on effect of putting him on the pitch makes people a little nervy, and it showed. That's why after the goal, we couldn't calm it down. It got real loose in the middle of the park. Everyone's kind of all over the place. Bruno's trying to go forward. Same with Pogba. And Fred's just, like we saw in that goal, his positional awareness, sniffing out danger, it wasn't there, and that's what he needs to do if he's going to be playing in the hole.
You're absolutely right. And it's like, I hate to say it, I'm going to bring it back to the man of men, the greatest, the GOAT. What would he have done? You think Fergie's waiting to make the 85th minute to make a sub when he goes down 10 minutes before? It's like, that's why, unfortunately, it's damning, because the best of the best, you got to make subs, man. You got to switch it up. And Ole has shown that, like, he rode that starting 11 to the end of the restart, and it worked out, but he's got to be able to rotate. Have you seen the schedule for next year? It's like every 3 days we got a game. So he's got to be able to rotate. Woo! Even if he's got talent, dude, you got to be able to rotate. And today he got it wrong.
Sir, have a dark ale.
I need one.
All right, let's check in with the manager, Ole, Gunnar Solskjaer.
A bit shocked that you didn't see that one through. It's one of them that you, if you take your chances, you'll win comfortably. But that's not always the case in football. And got to say, we had moments and spells in both halves that we could have scored quite a few. But that's the thing, when you don't take him, it's going to be hard. We've got a young team that we had 3 years average, less than them, and I thought some spells today maybe showed that this group of players will have to learn and get the consistency in the play, because when they got the ball down, when we played, we pressed, created counter-attack chances. It's scintillating at times.
As a striker yourself, of course, who scored so many goals for the club, do you look at the chances you had tonight and you think poor finishing, or do you think just brilliant goalkeeping again?
I think the keepers had a fantastic game, and of course it's disappointing that we don't score, because we know that we've got players who've got that quality. But then again, that's the game.
The goals conceded, you must be quite angry about that as well, particularly the second one. It looked as if you had more than enough numbers in the box to deal with it.
Not just in the box, but the whole run up to the goal is disappointing. Of course, we're on a break. Anto gets fouled. Should have been a booking. Then we play for quite a while. We just win it back over here and then lose it, and then the recovery runs aren't good enough. And as you say, should have stopped the cross. Maybe should have cleared the ball when it got in the box. It got a deflection off Brandon's thigh, so that changed the direction of the ball. But then again, 2 crosses to concede from is disappointing.
There you go. Ole's not pulling punches on criticizing the defense. He talked about an experienced squad. Get it out Sevilla, because you're going to need it in Champions League round of 16, right?
You are. And you know what? I'm not a Scouse bastard. I'm not one to complain about the refs, but I think this is the worst performance from a ref since that 13 game with Nani and the red card. He had a shit game, dude. They were hacking the fuck out of our players all game, and they were not giving yellows. We were getting called on everything. I'm saying, I'm not a Chelsea fan. We're not Liverpool fans that whinge about this, but it was obvious today. It was not a well-ref game.
Yeah, I would say that it was a very poorly refereed game. I even thought there was a shout of a penalty for Bruno Fernandes. VAR took a look at it and it wasn't to me. I thought that was clear pen. Clearly, I'm a little biased. I just think it was a mess of a game. But that's like when we talked about the factors of winning in Europe. You know, like the referees, the cheeky referees. That's part of Europe as well. It's just, you know, you don't have those old English referees, you know.
That's why you need the experience. You need players, you know. Bruno shows that. He's lifting everybody around him. Mata, he brought it in a little late. Matic, you need guys that have done it before.
All right, we have Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes scores goals. When he talks, we listen. Let's see what he had to say. BT Sport, post-game.
There's 3 semi-finals in one season.
Yeah, I agree with all that. As much as United deserved to win and played really good football at times, they were the better team. There's no doubt about it, they were the better team. You have to say the second goal, the defensive part of that goal was shocking. Lindelof and Maguire, both out past the near post. There's one centre forward. Lindelof has to see him. And then Wan-Bissaka as well has to try and cover for him if he don't think he sees him. But surely Lindelof as a centre half, he's got his centre forward, he's got to be looking at him, his body angle's all wrong. And if they avoid that, then I think they will go and score a goal, because Sevilla they looked tired to me. Yeah. They didn't look like they were going to create a chance other than that one.
We saw what Bruno Fernandes thought of that defending. Is it quality? Is it spending money? Is it still a good season for Manchester United? What does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer think? All of that is still to come.
All right, Paul Scholes, you know, slates Lindelof, sir. What do you make of that assessment?
I mean, he's not wrong, right? The first goal was shit. The second goal was shit. I think they forget about it because United actually put some decent football together in between. But here's the way it's looking, you know, ladies and gents. We're not getting Sancho. It doesn't feel like it. It doesn't smell like we're getting Sancho. So I would invest in defense. I'd buy a center back. I'd buy either a left or right back. You probably need backup. We need more, you know, that seems the weakness. You got like lots of youth up front. I'm not saying we don't need attackers. I'm not saying we don't need backup, but that seems like the most pressing thing we need to invest in right away. We need people like upgrade, you know, a center back, Lindelof, upgrade possibly a left back if Shaw's injured, and B-Dubs love him, but, you know, can't start every game. Sir, defense might be the new offense.
No, I hear you. There's a new Amazon Prime show. I forget, is it All or Nothing or something? All It Takes, some title, but it's following Spurs behind the scenes with Jose Mourinho, and he did say to Spurs a quote which I thought was funny, or like actually relevant in the locker room. He says, "Nice guys don't win," and it's like Maguire looks like a nice guy. Lindelof looks like a nice guy. Bailly, not nice.
Nope.
Jones, he's a nice guy. Like Vidic, not nice. Nope. Ferdinand, not nice. Those are the center backs you want. People should fear your center back pairing. Like Bailly and Maguire, I think they could do it. But Bailly, the injury record with him is just terrible. So I think you're right. We got to find a center back who's going to be that not so nice guy. Put in that challenge. Make sure you know he's there.
They're just so valuable at the end of the day. It's like we have some really exciting talent up front. We need center backs. And you just always need more. It's totally like the best clubs just keep buying center backs. And dude, if it's true we can get Gabriel for 30, that's a steal. You just keep buying those 30 clips.
You need cover.
Two of them.
You need
cover. 2 of them.
But also the fact that we're like Delo's out of favor, so you need cover for right back, you need cover for left back. Yep. Delo can play both, which is why I don't understand he's so out of favor. Either way, sir, let's get into the match recap. We could talk about United transfers all day. We got a long time to do it. Now we have extended break. You'll love this stat. Manchester United in 2019-20 are the first ever English top flight team to fall at the semifinal stage of 3 different competitions within the same campaign. #heartbreaking, sir. Absolutely. That's tough. Sevilla are now unbeaten in 20 games, just a fourth different side within Europe's top 5 leagues this season to enjoy such a run. Bayern Munich, PSG, Real Madrid. They were hot. But again, they were hot, and I think we were better. Including both their quarterfinal victory over SC Copenhagen and their match with Sevilla, United had 46 shots, 21 on target. However, the Red Devils managed just 2 goals from the penalty spot in those matches with a conversion rate of 4.4%. Clearly, that has regressed as low as it's going to go, and it's going to get better next season. Manchester United has been awarded 22 penalties in all competitions, the most by any side in a single campaign within Europe's top 5 leagues since Barcelona 15-16. Saying something about our attack, right? If you think about a lot of penalties, you know, you look at that Barcelona attack from 15-16, a lot of fouls, a lot of pens. I think this is a leading indicator of how prolific our front 3 are going to be. And since Manchester United debuted on February 1st, only Robert Lewandowski 28, and Lionel Messi, 27, had a direct hand in more goals in all competitions than Bruno Fernandes, 20 and 12, with 8 assists within Europe's top 5 leagues. Unbelievable.
Hell of a player. He's a difference maker. And I was thinking, actually, we were going through the recap. I was like, what if COVID hit 2 months earlier? Would we even gotten Bruno in January?
We would not.
Probably not, right?
Nope. If you look at the cash, definitely not. And Bruno Fernandes has scored 100% of the 14 penalties taken all competition this season, netting 6 for Sporting Lisbon. Imagine if he wasn't our penalty taker. I mean, sir.
Imagine if he didn't join, sir. We would miss top 4, and we probably wouldn't make it to the semi.
Look.
You have to look at the data.
So we're going to look at the stats. Possession-wise, 47% of the ball for Manchester United, 53%. For Sevilla, they had more of the ball, but we had 20 shots, 7 on target to their 9 shots, 3 on target. Chippy match, we had 17 fouls, they had 13. Again, on the stat sheet, I do think from a tactical perspective, we dominated. Look at that, 20 shots, 7 on target to their 3. They scored 2 of those. Conversion rate through the roof. Ours, not so good. I mean,
you want to condemn the ref. Look at 13-17. If you watch that whole match and be like, Manchester United committed more fouls in an actual sense, there's no way. There's no way we committed more fouls than they did.
Look, there's a lot of people on Twitter pretty hot. I imagine we're going to get to the fan questions. This is going to be absolutely terrible. Stephen Warnock on BBC Radio, he had a really good take. I thought I'd just read it here. He's a Scouse bastard, but he had a really good take. He's like, if I'm a Manchester United fan, I'm looking at the end and thinking, did they create chances? Yes. Were they a danger to Sevilla? Yes. Are they better than they were 6 months ago? They are. They could have won the game. There's definitely positive signs for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We all know squad depth is a much-needed improvement. A lot of people get carried away after lockdown saying this team can't compete for the Premier League, but they can't. Saying this team can compete for the Premier League, but they can't. They don't have the depth, and we've seen that tonight. We knew this is a building process. Yes, they had a great run, but they need a lot of work. So, look, I think it's this season sums it up. Great improvement. Signed Bruno. Good job. Lots more to go. And Ole said the same thing in the press. Look, we need to invest.
We need to invest. I think Ole needs to keep developing as a manager. I think you look back, 2 of those 3 semifinals I think we should have won. The Chelsea one and this one today. He has gotten better. We are better than we were 6 months ago, but he's got to also get better, learn from his previous mistakes. Because I think he made some mistakes tonight, and we got to take on next year. And he's got to learn how to rotate, man. Because no matter what, you got to rotate.
Look, you're starting to chip at Ole.
I'm unraveling over here.
I have to think it's the players. I would look at our defense and
was bad
coming into the Sevilla. Like, I watched the Barcelona 8-2 Bayern Munich. I was like, how many would Bayern score against us? Our defense is not that good, especially without Luke Shaw.
Without Matic.
At the moment, yeah, without Matic in front of the center back pairing, Maguire and Lindelof look exposed. Our defense is the biggest liability at the moment at Manchester United. That's what concerns me. So to criticize Ole, I'm like, look at the defensive mistakes. I mean, yes, he's a coach. At the end of the day, the buck stops with him. I just don't think our center backs are good enough. We weren't good enough.
They're not good enough, but that's why you play Matic. That's why it's so important, because he bails our shit center backs out. They're not shit. I'm sorry. I'm being really rough today. But they bail them out when they make mistakes, and they bail a lot of people out. And that's like, would he have played him if they played Bayern Munich? He would have played him.
Yeah, well, yeah. Right? And the whole point is, like, the analysis for Fred, you watch that game, you'd be like, okay, how many, like, great attacking passes did Fred make? Like, can't really recall. How many great defensive saves did Fred make? And so the answer is, like, he's not really contributing a lot on the attack. He's not really contributing a lot of defense. So what is he doing? And this team, you can have passengers. I was thinking about this. Like, Dan James could be a passenger out on the right wing. Like, go out there,
right. Ball
comes your way, run at the guy. Like, you can have a guy basically just like take him along for a ride in a match, but you can't in the middle of the park. And that's to me where Fred felt like a passenger today, and you can't. You're going to lose to Sevilla. There's a certain level. This is a pretty tough. It's a well-fought match, and it's just tough to see a game you should win and you lose it like that. And then the Chelsea fan chirping me on the thread.
They didn't win shit. We finished above them.
I know the Chelsea fans coming in.
We lost like 7-1 cumulative.
People love when United.
They're a pretty good team.
People love it. Look, it's been a real season. We appreciate everyone who's listened. We talked about it in December. Look, this could be a long run. I think that was after losing Newcastle. Then we had the COVID break, sir. We podded through the COVID break. Then we came back, got top 4, Europa League bonus tournament. The wives are just completely shot with the pod. They're like, when is this going to stop? Never does, sir. Look, it's been a real season. I appreciate everyone who listened. Just off the top of your head, sir, what would you grade this past season? It's in the bag.
In the bag, fully fledged, I'd give it a C. You know, I think given what we have at our disposal, it wasn't all given to Ole. There players that weren't replaced in the summer that should have been replaced a lot earlier. But getting Bruno changed everything. I think we made a good push, and obviously finishing third is a huge victory. So I give him marks for that. But I think he should have picked up some silverware. Today was tough. It's probably maybe I'll give him a C+ in a week if you let me calm down a little bit. But it's in the C range.
Okay, I'll give it B- because it's where we started from. Because it's the difference between the low and then where we finished. Also, how hard it was to finish where we did it in the Premier League. We did get third. If we got fourth, I'd give it a C totally. But we ended up getting third. Pip Chelsea, what a run! And it took a lot of it took a lot to get there. Right, it was a crazy journey. The ups and the downs, and I felt like this is kind of like. Yeah, people are pissed, but are you really that mad? Like the season kicks off September 12th. It's all about next season. It's all about the league. We really got to be holding it. United have to be trying to compete for the league. It's all eyes on next season, realistically.
Yeah,
I mean, Europa League in the bag. We got Champions League now. Let's move on. Next season.
You asked, did you rather lose 3 semis or 3 finals? You'd rather lose 3 semis because you get the time back and we get an extra week. The boys can get some rest. They need it. They deserve it. It's not all bad. We did finish strong in the season. Top, third place is a good accomplishment for this squad for sure. Proud of Ole around that. We got to kick on. We got to reinforce the team because the season starts real quick. That's like right around the corner, within 30 days.
3 years without a trophy, longest drought since when, sir?
Late 80s, like 87, 88 maybe.
I thought you said 85, 86. Either way, it's been a long time since we have gone 3 years. Dry spell, no trophies, sir. You want that sweet nectar. You want that trophy. You need that photo of Ole holding it up, smiling, the team celebrating. No one around, no fans in the stadium.
Next one's going to be Carabao Cup, February. That's our chance.
Yeah. There's always, so as far as the podcast goes, recap this game. We'll do a full season recap, sir, maybe next weekend. We'll also be looking at a preview for the next following season. We'll be doing instant pods. If there's a transfer, we'll come out. We'll do a podcast as well. We'll also do a podcast about the survey results. We'll do that right before probably early September. So you have a chance to fill it out. You have a chance to try to win the jersey. We'll tell you guys all the funniest comments, the feedback, what our plan is for next year. So that's more of a sort of housekeeping. If you really like the pod and you want to hear what we got to say from the surveys, we'll do one episode like that. We'll do the season recap probably since COVID. We did do the full breakdown, or we can do an expedited breakdown as well. And then we'll give our full grades, players, all the awards that we have. This does feel like a most improved United team, right? It's like the trophy you win in Little League that, it's like
you won nothing, so here you go. You got a trophy.
Like the MVP is always the one people want to win in Little League. You get the MIP. It's like, all right, you suck. You really sucked, and then you got okay. Like that. That feels like this season, in a nutshell, is the participation most improved. Because in the day, who are we kidding ourselves? We're Manchester fucking United. This club. We need to be competing for Champions Leagues. EPL. When was the last time we were in a title race? When was the last time?
13.
When was the last time?
12, 13.
Yes, exactly. It's too long. It's too. So it's gonna be.
I
said 10 years.
I said at least 10 years.
We won at 13. I said it's gonna be 10.
At least.
I thought it was
best case scenario. So long. Best case scenario. And you know what? They're not investing. The fact they're not going to put any money in this club this summer, it means like we're cooked.
We haven't even competed. It's like we were technically second.
We need four or 5 big buys, and we ain't getting them.
I need looking at the last 5 matches, we could win the league. Like, how do I have to wait a decade for that? How many hundreds of millions are the Glazers going to pull out of United before I can get that feeling again?
A lot, plenty.
All right, next season it starts Saturday, September 12th. Not too long of a break, sir. By my count, what is that? 3.5 weeks, something like that. So enjoy the 3.5 weeks off. All the wives out there who have husbands or Manchester United fans, or vice versa. Opening day fixtures have been leaked. The most exciting one, obviously, Manchester United versus Arsenal. September 12th. Don't know the exact time. Usually they move days. So it might be a Monday game, might be a Friday night game. But they have released all the matchups. Wolves, Leicester, that's another good one. Liverpool gets West Ham, another throw up. Chelsea, listen to this one. Chelsea gets Southampton. Why does United? We always have a hard opener. City versus Crystal Palace. I mean, all the big teams get easy. Tottenham, Aston Villa. We're the only one with the premier matchup might be Friday Night Football. Arsenal, they suck. They absolutely suck. But they did win a trophy.
They did win a trophy. So everyone's giving Arteta a lot of credit. But, it's a big game. Marquee day. They want to start with the biggest the biggest team in the world. They're going to start with Manchester United. That's going to be a marquee slot, wherever they put it. So I want to play I don't want to play the best. They're not the best. But it's a good way to start the season. You beat them. You get a big win, and you kick on from there.
No, absolutely. And the full fixture list is going to be announced on August 21st, sir. So what's that, next week? So next week we'll know the full fixture list. When we do the season preview pod, we'll run through that. We'll look at the tough fixtures, the matchups, everything like that. And that's all she wrote. 2019, 2020 in the bag. If you told me we would have get top 4 and not win a trophy, I would have taken it earlier in the year. Especially
totally.
third place.
Totally.
So, it's a shame. I didn't know we would get to the semifinals, though.
Pip Chelsea. No, the frustrating aspect is that 2 of those finals were games to be had. Arguably a City one. If things had gone a little different, maybe we were in it. We were in it at their place as well. Remember that free kick from Fred at the end, 90th minute. It's been a hell of a year, but you're right. I would take third all day. Next season, it's going to be a long, hard season. Have you seen that schedule? Even the ones that don't have the confirmed opponents, it's going to be grueling.
Pod never sleeps.
It's basically. I'm not even talking for us. I'm talking about the players.
I'm just saying.
Need reinforcements. I can't wait. Plenty of football.
No, I look.
How many apps we're going to need? How many apps we're going to need next year?
I know, the streaming apps, especially the whole quarantine situation. I'm very happy that we have football going on. It's coming back soon. Now, what we need to do is we need to just demand the Glazers, the scum, the board, they invest in this club. It's a crime not to invest in this team. It's just unbelievable. So let's get into it. United in the news. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer pleads for the board to buy. In the Sevilla pregame presser, quote, "It's a race. You can see teams building. We're always looking at the squad and player logistics. It is definitely about quality, and it's going to cost money to get in players who are better than the ones we already have. We still have a way to go to get to the level of the teams at the top of the Premier League. They are far ahead of us. We are still growing, getting better, of course, but they are not the finished article. Nowhere near." Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying United nowhere near a finished article and very far behind the top of the Premier League. I imagine he's talking about the club who shall not be named. And you know what? Those noisy neighbors, sir.
And City, sir. Because City, they already bought one center back, trying to buy another center back. And here we are just sitting on our hands, dude. You could tell that's shots fired at the Glazers because they don't want to pay up for Jadon Sancho. $108 million? Sorry. No thank you. Bank's closed.
Look, we'll get the Sancho article that I wrote on American Red Devils. That's next. But, the conversation I want to have around this piece was Mourinho said it, didn't get it, he left. Ole, Mr. Nice Guy, 18 months, almost made top 4 last season, miracle run, didn't do it, did it this season, got the Glazers the money that bailed them out, and now he has basically the street cred to go out in the press and be like, hey, I'm not Ole, Mr. Nice Guy. I proved myself. I want a hell of a run, made top 4, made you guys money like you wanted me to. I need you to invest. And he's saying it to the press. This is the first time we're seeing Ole say, hey, we need money. We need to buy. Josie said the same thing. Glazers said, go pound sand. Unfortunately for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, COVID-19, the current environment with football, he ain't getting cash from this board.
No, he's not. And that's a very bad sign around the Sancho hunt. The fact that he's going that far, because he's a class act. I'm going to call it like it is. Ole, better for worse, but he's always a class act. And the fact that he's going as far to say, hey, this team needs to invest, we're way far off where we need to be, is because he's not liking what he hears. We haven't gotten a deal done yet. This deal was done, should have been there, and they just like, oh, too much money. I don't know, that sounds like a lot of money. We're going to have to pay up, you're going to have to give a cash infusion. I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know how terrible the Glazers are, I'll give you a little breakdown. So the article I wrote, americanreddevils.com, basically went through the finances on the Sancho DLC. What can United afford based on their latest financial filings? Dortmund won 108 million pounds or 120 million euros. They have come out and basically said, we are not budging on that price. United, I think, won a discount because of the current economic environment. Don't blame them. But when you got Sancho for 3 years and you're Borussia Dortmund, sell him a year from now, there's no COVID. Why even risk selling him now? If you just do the math from Dortmund, there's no leverage United have. If he had a 2-year deal and it was winding down to 1 year and then he could stall it and then get a cut right deal like Sanchez did, they have no negotiating leverage in this transaction. But in the UK, the press is posting about it all the time. You see all the United Twitter people, you know who the other channel stuff, they're just revving it up, and they don't even look at how much money United have. And the issue that their question everyone should be asking is, can Manchester United afford Jadon Sancho given their current financial position, exacerbated by COVID-19 and the uncertainty around future matchday revenues at Old Trafford? And for those who aren't familiar, matchday revenues annually for Manchester United, £110 million. Manchester United make a lot of money, but they're a big club. They spend a lot of money. They have a ton of staff, and essentially without the 110, they're not making money hand over fist, right? And you have to remember, this club has a mountain of debt. They have a lot of interest. The Glazers take out a tasty dividend
every year.
So they're just draining the club's pumping out cash, and they're draining the cash down, right? So if you're running a business, usually you want to have like good cash reserves on the balance sheet in case of a rainy day, in case of COVID-19. A lot of companies are getting caught with their pants down because they levered up. They didn't have the money. You're seeing the bankruptcies in the press, like all these retail stores, a lot of debt, no money on the books, dying, hemorrhaging cash. Right now, Manchester United is that. Look, they're not going to be that forever. Their brand's worth $1 billion in and of itself, $3 billion enterprise value in New York Stock Exchange. They're going to be fine. It's just how the Glazers have set it up and how they've treated this club, sucking money out of it nonstop. Now, since they sucked a lot of money out of it, how much money does Manchester United have going forward, right? We have to go through their financials. They are public. You can actually see it. And so all I did was do a simple forecast. I added in the Champions League money. I basically took their expenses, carried it forward. I assumed they didn't fire anyone. And I said, hey, look, they'll have fans in seats starting in September, right? 25% capacity going to 50% in January. That is kind of the baseline. Okay, under that scenario, quite a bit there, but I want to make sure everyone understands where my head is with how I'm running this model. Just projecting out their quarterly cash balance, they will hit a low of £73 million in the third quarter, fiscal year 2021, which is March 31st, 2021.
But John, that sounds like a lot of money.
It does sound like a lot of money, but the problem for Manchester United is when you're a $3 billion company, you need at least $50 million on the books. I mean, the problem is the revolver, right? So essentially you have a credit card if you're a big company, right? They just they maxed out their credit card. And that $73 million cash balance is including their maxed out credit card.
Right.
Now they could go restructure their debt, but they're already at like they're highly leveraged, which is not where you want to be. Look, if someone comes in and buy them, it's not an issue. But as far as how the Glazers run it and how much money they have to spend, they just don't have a lot of dry powder. So you look at the $73 million cash low. That's what Eddie's looking at. He's like, basically, Eddie can't run out of money or he's fired. Clearly, that would be something. They would never run out of money. They have another $10 million on the revolver. They have some flexibility. They could sell some players and they can add to that 73. So the question is, what would be the low cash that Eddie would allow in the books? I'm going to say the lowest is probably 40. But this is with the case that fans are back. Right. So then you have to say, okay, if there aren't any fans back, it gets even worse. So if you look at how the Glazers and Woodward are looking at Manchester United as a business, and I know as fans we don't really think about that, they're kind of be concerned because they don't know when fans are back. No one knows what's happening with COVID. And in all honesty, they're basically going to be losing money in the foreseeable future because they carry so much operating expenses.
You know, you want to know the best example of why they're such shit owners and how terrible they've done to this club is that they're going to take their dividend. It's a pandemic, right? Matchday revenue has been cut by 120 million or 108, whatever you said, and they're still going to take their dividend. A reasonable company would forego their dividend for a year.
No, but they don't
would
care. But
I know they don't care because they don't give a shit about the club.
Yeah. So this club and the way the equity is structured, and I'll do another article about that. It's hysterical. I actually like going through these documents in my spare time, given everything we got going on. Is they've structured this club basically where like all the different Glazer children have 20 million shares, and the shares are in this certain class. They kind of like Facebook the stock, where basically if one share of this class exists, then they basically own control rights of the whole entire club, and they can basically cash them in whenever they need anything. So the whole idea is this is essentially an ATM for the Glazer trusts, all the different kids, and it's not like you said. Joel and Avram kind of run the show. Joel's probably number one right now at Manchester United, but they're not thinking about this team as like we need to be competing for trophies. They're thinking of it as an ATM. They always have thought of it as an ATM. That's why it has so much debt.
So much debt.
It's insane. And also the fact that Ed Woodward's done such a shit job. I mean, if you actually, so the Glazers hired Eddie to do this job, and if Eddie didn't do such a bad job selling and buying players, they would have more cash.
Yep.
So you want to blame, there's a lot of blame to go around, but my point is, in order to do Sancho at 180 million, it's got to be structured, and you got to sell players to raise some money because Manchester United really doesn't have a lot of wiggle room from a cash perspective, especially to the downside considering COVID-19. We've also talked to Phil de Bruyne. He has a source close to Woody. He says basically Woodward, the guy, his source close to Woodward says that there'll be no transfers at Manchester United if Sancho's done. It would just be Sancho and nothing, or Sancho, or it's a few, like a defender here, like we talked, 20, 30 million. It's not going to be a good window. It's not going to be the Edward 350. This club is broke. The environment is uncertain. The Glazers have treated this club like shit. Eddie has run it into the ground. It's there for everyone to see. You can read the financial statements, sec.gov. It's amazing more people aren't talking about this stuff, because how could you be talking Sancho when you don't even look at how much money United have or what the environment is around football, and can they even afford to spend that? Chelsea is just the guys laundering money through the club.
Right.
Same with Man City. So it's literally they're spending to lose money. Manchester United is not run like that. This is an LBO. They're running to make money. That is the whole purpose of this. Is an ATM.
End of. Because that's you follow the money, baby, always. And you want to know basically why anything's done. And you're like, why the fuck do they do that? You'd be like, follow the money. And the reason they run the club the way they do is because they get the most control of it, and they can just take the most cash off the top every year, just like that vending machine, like ATM, just like money machine goes brrr.
And so the reason why I'm kind of like talking about the Sancho deal is the Sancho deal the risk worth it to them? You know, so are they focused on getting their dividend? Or are they focused on competing for the EPL? They're focused on their dividend, so why are they going to go stick their neck out and sweat their cash balance when it comes to a Sancho transaction? They could move some things around. They could sell some players. They could raise some money. Haven't seen them move anyone on. Look, it's an absolute shambles. #Glazers out. Get your green and gold scarves, americanreddevils.com. This next season, fans, I love this club. Manchester United history, unbelievable. Gives me chills just talking about it. Sir Alex Ferguson, the boss. Everything this club's given to me. Absolutely love it. I'll never give up on it, no matter what. But if the Glazers are going to be the ones who aren't going to invest, and we have to be strong as a fan base and call them out, because they can't just, like all these guys, BBC, Simon Stone, all these guys just saying the narrative they want to say. And it's like, why don't you hold them to account? We have to hold them to account how they're running this team. It's not fair to the fans. It's not fair.
It's not, and they don't call it like they see it because that's the only way they get access to the club. You gotta play nice. You gotta be their PR puppet and say exactly what they want to say. Because unfortunately, that's why Simon Stone and Larkhurst, they'll all jump if they're asked
journalists.
I get it, but they're also like fed intel and aren't even being like, let's look into the finances. Can they afford this player? Why are they not buying players? I mean, they should talk about it all the time. Like most United fans don't even realize that like some American owners are just sucking the life out of this club, and they've been doing it for 15 years, and nothing's going to change anytime soon if they keep owning this club.
And the real crime is if they ran it well, if they had a director of football,
right.
If they invest in the team, we would have a new stadium, we'd have a great team, we'd be competing for titles, the global brand would be stronger than ever, they'd make more money than ever. The whole downside case of just like gutting the place for the copper piping and leaving it like The Wire, bro. It's like, that's not what you do.
No.
I mean, you can do that, but that's like, you do win if the team wins. Like you do win if you have a nice stadium, one of the nicest stadiums in Europe. You have one of the biggest brands in the world. You reach out to the international community. You engage the fan base. It's like we will literally like just give you cash. We will like give you. Manchester United could suck money out of my bank account if they're run right, if they're winning everything. It's like. It just, I don't know why you get here where it's just basically they've ran it into the ground. The club is broke. Woodward's incompetent. He's continued to run the club. It's unbelievable.
It's a comedy of errors, and it's like the more you talk about it, the worse it gets. You're right. If it was well run in any capacity, at the top level, they would be a much more valuable franchise, because if you win, you sell more shit, more people want to watch you play, more people want to go to your games. They just don't know what they're doing, and the fact that they let Eddie hang around for this long and he has no idea, dude, it's just They don't give a fuck.
But the real,
they're running like they're running a steel mill. They LBO'd a steel mill, and they got to like run, optimize for cost as much as possible. This is a football club. It's a brand, but it's also you need to make sure the product is legit, and you got to keep investing in the product. You basically never stop investing in the product. What's Apple do? You keep investing in the product forever.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where if you look at where it went wrong, it's like Woodward should have been fired after LVG, right?
Yeah.
The whole like at a certain point, you're kind of exposed. Like the emperor has no clothes. Like some guy's running the club and he's working for you. He's like a hotshot. He just says all the right things. Yeah, you like the guy, but it's all about the results. And when you see what happened with LVG and how like Woodward threw him under the bus like a little kid, cut LVG, saved his job. He should have been gone then, or at least moving into commercial exclusive and then have someone come in director of football. The United, this is a business. They got to make the right business decisions. When City, you look at City director of football, how they run that shit, you'd be like, okay, we're Manchester United. Hire some consultants, pay them like $20 million. Be like, what are they doing over there? Let's do that. Like, it's not, you don't even have to be that smart.
It's not a miracle. It's just like a formula.
Here's $20 million. Find some guys who know what they're doing
and pay them money.
It's very simple. If you're Manchester United, you're $3 billion. You can find it out. You can find a guy who can find it out. It's not that hard.
It's not. They just don't care because it still spits off cash.
Like Red Bull Leipzig, whoever's running that club, whoever got those players in, like get that guy in here. Like you look at a club that came out of nothing and you found all these great players. You'd be like, what's going on? Like hire him, hire multiple guys, pay them not to work for other teams. Like it's very easy. It's very easy.
So they should have fired him when he allowed David Moyes to come in and fire everybody.
I know.
Like the fact that was allowed. Honestly, that's the first sign. It's like, yeah, fire everybody that Fergie hired because I have my crew of chumps from 8th place Everton, dude. That's like a laugh riot.
Look, we could shit on the Glazers all day. Sorry. We really could. But the narrative that I think I'm trying to paint for United fans is like, hey, moaning about the cash, this isn't just a one-season issue. This isn't just a COVID issue. This will be whenever the fans come back, United will kind of break even. Well, we're talking like 2 years of like a lull in transfers being cheap because of how the company is run. And this is a long-term issue. It sucks to talk about, but I think it's one that is going to come to the forefront after the season closes and you see kind of what a business United is doing. Eddie can pull off a miracle. He can sell Jesse for 40. He can make moves and and I'm actually cheering for him because it's a crime not to invest in Ole. Ole did it against the odds. He did it this is a significant ROI for Bruno Fernandes, getting him come in, doing what he did, earned $85 million, bailed out the Glazers, and he's not going to get investment. The Glazers need to put money into this club, and unfortunately they're taking it out. And it's going to be what it is. But we, as fans, got to band together. We got to call it out, sir. Hashtag Glazers out. Get your scarves at americanreddevils.com. $9.99. It's on sale.
Glazer sale. I don't think
anything anti-Glazer we're selling cheap.
I don't think that Glazer sale is anytime soon. It's going to be the theme, And like you said, maybe he'll pull off a miracle, but those sales aren't even happening very quickly. Or we're not getting players off the books, making money.
I know. All right. Fan question, sir. Dave Paws on Twitter. Unfortunately, that is our limit with this squad. And unless the Glazers, in parentheses, wanker, stop bleeding us dry and Eddie buys Ole what he wants, we aren't going much further, sir. What do you make of that?
I mean, we got to invest in the squad to go much further, compete for things that we need to compete. But I don't think that's an excuse for losing today. I think we could put out 11 that's stronger than them. Just one of those days. I'm going to butcher this again. Bohan Boy for Life, Devin, quote, definitely gutted about the result. I think Ole should have made changes earlier. However, part of me thinks Ole did that on purpose to show the board we need quality signings to reinforce the squad. I'd love to see Sancho, a quality center back, Dembele from Lyon brought in. I think that's what it was. It was kind of strange. It kind of defied logic a little bit, not subbing. I said that earlier. I said that often. It's true. It was insane. It was like the fact that he didn't bring a sub on until 84th minute. Maybe he's trying to say something, but I think all you have to do, if the Glazers are watching, which they're probably not, is watch a half of Fred and know he got to come off. Fergie would have brought him off at halftime.
At Burkett Mets, quote, this one hurts more than Chelsea because our focus wasn't turned anywhere else and because we had enough opportunities to win it. The boys need to get some much-needed rest, and we need to get reinforcements in to get some silverware next season. Totally agree. At the Alex Davis 33, we need way more than Sancho. I want a center back to replace Lindelof. I want squad depth across the board. We all do. Preach. Most of all, I want fucking new owners. I'd even settle for the Saudis Just get the Glazers out of this club. Look, Glazers aren't as rich as the Saudis, but we moan about them, but the Saudis are just scary, sir. You don't even want to criticize the Saudis on this pod. You're worried.
Wow, sir. I don't think the
Saudis.
Saudis.
FC. I don't want to be that. No. I don't look. We need another buyer. I think Mackenzie Bezos. She's got a few bills.
She's not interested.
Hanging out.
She's not interested.
I'm gonna write her a letter. Come on the pod. We'll convince you.
We'll make her tons of money. I mean,
$3
convince her that.
billion
We'll run it. We'll make a shit ton of money
Put
for
us
you.
in charge. Put us in charge.
The wife will love that. The wife will love that. Move to Manchester.
Yeah, MUTV would be you and me just talking shit about Chelsea. We'd be like, fuck Chelsea. Just like start.
Yeah, they love that.
Manchester United Twitter account would just be like, fuck Chelsea.
It'd be a lot hotter. I'll tell you, it'd be a lot spicier than the current account.
Hey, it's 2020, sir. At Ike Yagola, no pattern of play. Team still struggles to progress the ball from back and fashion chances in the final third. Cannot be only player recruitment that is lacking. This seems to be a coaching problem too. What do you make of the coaching problem? I do think the tactics were obvious. I do think that we got beat. We got stretched. Like you talk about the first goal, Lindelof stretched. AWB doesn't get back. Fred misses that. That has to be the number one priority is you're going to get stretched with these wingers. And where'd the pass go? Went to the other side of the field. Brandon Williams stretched.
Who could break up space? Who has the experience? Between Mata and Matic, they've won everything in terms of competitions. That's why I started both of them. I would have brought Mata in. I would have brought Matic in. He's just so much better than Fred at that position. And Mata, as the game tired, you need someone to pass into space because we still had speed. I go all day.
At J McLiver, quote, this game shows we need more depth because all the subs we brought in, even if it was early on, wouldn't matter. We need better quality coming off the bench. Does this speed up Woodward to get something done? I think this speeds up Woodward to prioritize the center back. That 30 to 40 million type of signing. Quality coming into the EPL. We talked about Gabriel from Lyon, but now it's gonna be hard to get a center back. I really think that's probably the deal to do. For me as a fan, I'm confident in our attack as long as they're injury free.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it'll show is because everything we've heard, it's either Sancho or nothing else, or a bunch of other little players. And if we do buy a center back, it means Sancho ain't happening this year. If we're lucky next year, if he's still around. But I think we're going to rue the chance I missed him. Because you know what? Next year, all of a sudden, Real Madrid could be at the table and be like, I'll take Sancho. He's 21. We need players.
Of course you're going to rue the chance.
Yeah, of course you are.
Yeah,
of course you are. It's a structured deal. 108 million pounds over 3 years. It's insane. They have so much money. The Glazers have, how much money they made in the last 10 years? Just like people in the U.S., rich people have made a shit ton of money. They have so much cash, bro. They have so much cash.
So to explain it, they have the money, but Manchester United as a club does not have
the PLC does not have any money, but Glazer and company has a shit ton of cash, bro.
Yeah, and they're not parting ways with it. At Cassie Sanders, quote, wouldn't be surprised at all if Ole gets fired halfway through next season with a game plan like that. Piss poor from everyone today. Also, just another little tangent on the Glazers. They own the Buccaneers as well. They have exposure in entertainment, sports entertainment, and not getting money from ticketing. So if you think about how much money an NFL team makes from fans coming to the stadium, they're losing money across the board on their businesses. So they're not in a let's go out and just splash cash mood if you look at all their assets.
They're also in the U.S., which is a bigger shit show at the moment than the U.K. So
and,
I think they're
malls, right? They're commercial real estate too.
Yeah, so they ain't spending anything. They ain't spending anything.
At T Zolski on Twitter, where's Matic? No business losing this game. I can't stand the theatrics either. Defense was a joke again on both goals. Had too many chances not to win. With no money and no director of football, not sure how we improve the lack of depth. Time for some rest. Hashtag Woodward out. Hashtag Glazers out. My man.
Time for some rest. I need my Maui gyms. I need some sunshine. I need a break in the seat. I'll tell you what, the pod room today is ripping.
At Nick's Geek Girl, I'm so upset. Why didn't we sub Ugg? So many mistakes. At Ty Kircher, more semifinal heartbreak. Just so gutted. I don't think the result was fully deserved. 2 awful lapses in defense. We played better and had more chances. They had Superman in net once again. Hats off to their defense. So disappointed for the lads. My heart hurts. Hashtag MUFC. Sir, the goalie played lights out. It's like we've had De Gea do that and win. And you win, and you don't deserve it, but you win.
We got gazumped. We got like Mourinho almost. It's just that we deserved to win. We didn't take our chances. Probably got out-tacticked. Like I said, he made a 55th minute change. We made ours in 83rd. So that's all I'm going to say. It just wasn't a great day. I need that rest. Let's get, the boys need rest because the next season's going to come around the corner hot and heavy, ready to go.
Last tweet at JDW300. Big mistakes defensively cost us. Bruno maybe should have had a second pen, but Bono came up big against the attack. Too many chances wasted, and out we go, ... 2020, 2021 begins. A new day here. Another season in the books. Every time we put one down, this is our third season doing the pod, sir. Episode 225. It's been a pleasure. Another season in the books. We'll do the season recap. We'll do it right, but, just reflecting on it, ends on a loss to Sevilla. Stings a bit, but the joy of Pippin Chelsea in the league.
Could be worse.
That overrides it.
Because it matters more. The money matters more. It matters more for the bragging rights, right? It just goes deeper. If we finish fifth, and even, I guess if you won the FA Cup, finish fifth, and you missed Europe, knock it out of Europa League, would you take that? I'd rather take third, no trophy, and finish above Chelsea, finish above everyone else we like to talk about other than the two big.
But the crime, if the crime is in, I've done the analysis before on the website. If you look at where we would have been cash-wise without top four and where we are with top four and how Ole basically bailed out the Glazers from like a serious cash crunch at Manchester United, and they're not going to flip Ole the benefit of the doubt and get him Sancho. There's a timing to football, right? Everything Ole's built up could die if the Glazers don't invest. We've seen this before with the Glazers and Rooney being like, hey, we're not investing in this team. What are we doing? Are we going sideways? Hey, if we're going sideways, I want out. How does Pogba feel if United aren't going to carry on this momentum and start spending money in the transfer? Is he going to want to re-sign? Why is he going to want to pen his name to a team who's not going to do big deals? We're trying to be win the Champions League. Pogba, that could be in that could be in the works if United aren't going to spend.
No,
or they could sell to finance deals.
Dude,
they could sell P.
No one's the journalists are not going to talk about the fact that Ole bailed out the Glazers. That will not get one peep of news, but it's actually the truth. It's they would be so effed. It'd be Maui Gym Stadium next year.
How are we?
It would literally be Maui Gym Stadium next year because it's they're just lazy and they don't know how to look at finances. Unfortunately, they don't have the background where they can go through an S.
The BBC has a few guys,
and they should.
Simon Stone can call a line corporate and get a few guys to tell them what's going on. It's not that hard,
Doesn't sell. It's not juicy enough. I don't know.
No, but it's true. Ole, that should be a narrative. It'd be Ole bailed them out. They need to invest in this team. Where is that momentum in the press? It's almost like everyone's afraid of the owners of United. So Andy Mitten actually blocked me on Twitter. I actually replied to him something about the Glazers, and it wasn't even that insulting. It wasn't controversial. I just said, hey, look at the finances. They're not able to spend it. And he blocked me, bro. That is him and Neil Ashton are it's trying to be it's kind of scary. You think about that, where they're you have top United journals blocking people. They don't want anti-Glazer stuff on their tweet replies, stuff like that.
That's what I've learned from life is that you don't want to surround yourself with a bunch of yes men. You want people that are going to tell you like it is, tell you what you need to know, what you don't need to know. And the fact that they're yeah, we don't want to hear none of that.
Well, it's one of those things where, and we're getting on a solid tangent here, but if we start this podcast, we said, look, yeah, if we say nice things about the club, maybe we'll be able to,
get a press pass.
Yeah, get a press pass eventually down the line. Clearly, we're not big enough, all this stuff. But we're you either draw the line. You either say, hey, we're gonna be United friendly and do whatever they want, or we're gonna call we see it. And that's why we don't want any affiliation with the club. We don't want to have sponsors. We want to be able to say exactly what we think. We don't want any influences, and we got to call it like you see it. So I have the financial background. You go through it. It's there for everyone to see. Take a look. It's the way they run this club. Look at the stock price over the last 2 years. Ed Woodward, you should have been fired a long time ago. And it's just, let's hang on. 2021, sir. Onwards and upwards.
You're going to have to be positive because it's going to be tough. It's how long does United go without winning a title? If they're not investing, I don't know. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while.
They'll give us something, sir. It's just we're like
the fact that they signed that player.
They're hungry lions.
We signed that $10 million player that's not even coming, who's going back for a loan.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's a bad sign. That means oh yeah, well, we got nothing, so we're going to do small ball.
That's not bad.
It's not bad business. I'm just saying, I don't think we're not spending money on Sancho. We're not spending big money in general.
Yeah, but spending the big money did not do us well, right, in the past. So it's kind of you can argue against spending big money, but clearly, if you look at like the club who shall not be named, how they were able to come off with certain signings for certain prices, that's like good business. If you look at City's just kind of like the spend into the wind, and I don't think you should be doing that either. But you look at a Dortmund, there's a model of how you could be doing it and creating a lot of value for football club and succeeding at the same time. And I just don't see that without a director of football. So if United were going that angle and they came out and they communicated to the fans like they gave a fuck, I think part of that is true. Like if you're running this business, you have hundreds of millions of people worldwide. You should be communicating with them. This is our plan. This is what we're going to do. Like Ed Woodward should do an interview every year talking about the club. Like I just don't get. It's not like you can't go hide up in your tower and just run this thing. Like it's just they need to be thinking much more about the fans, because without the fans, there's no club.
Well, they don't really care about the fans. They don't care what you have to say. They want you back in the stadium buying shit.
You don't have to
buying
care,
beers.
but you should pretend like you care so you can get more money from them, sir. That is the pod. That is the end of the game, end of the season. It's been a real one. Thank you for supporting us for another season. Sir, it's getting hot in the bunker, so I think we should close it out. If you want to support the podcast, drop 5 stars on iTunes. This is how we're found. Follow us on YouTube, sir. We also got our end of season survey giving away a jersey. It's pinned to our Twitter profile. You can get it there. We talked about the Glazers Out merch. Hashtag Glazers Out, www.americanreddevils. Click on store. Thank you for supporting the pod, sir. We had a ton of downloads last week. Give us our top downloads the last 10 days.
Sir, number 1, how you doing? How you doing? Hampstead, North Carolina. Number 2, Dublin, Ireland. Appreciate you. Number 3, Pittsburgh, PA. Dallas, Texas. Sacramento, California. Chicago, Illinois. Number 7, Hercules, California. Atlanta, Georgia. Fort Worth, Texas. And last but not least, Menifee, California. And also Haderslav, Denmark, 11 on the board. Appreciate everybody who listens into the pod week in, week out. It's been a hell of a season. You know, it didn't end on a great note, but it is a good season. Finished 3rd after last year. Important to finish strong in the league. We need to kick on. We need to invest. I don't think we're going to, but this team is still capable of things. Not winning a title, but they're capable of winning things.
No,
not titles.
I think that we could do it, sir. I think this team definitely needs reinforcements, but I think we can compete. We can be a threat. We come out, we start hot. I think we can do it. And maybe like a little gem in there in the center back line. Hashtag Glazers Out. Hashtag Woodward Out, sir. It's been a pod. The always at the wheel is dead. You know, it's in this easy on a loss. You always at the wheel. It's we're back to Kicking the Blue. We'll be back with season recap next week. Enjoy your week. Take care, sir. As always,
Kicking the Blue.
Kicking the Blue.